Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? We are coming at you today from Six Flags Darien Lake in upstate New York. Going to check out all the rides and roller coasters this theme park has to offer. And then going to see if there's anything else interesting to see at this place. I've never been here before. This is my first visit ever. I'm the legend, joined by my wonderful girlfriend, Molly. And let's go show you around Six Flags Darien Lake. Let's kick off the tour with the park's newest roller coaster. This is Tantrum, a Gerstlauer Eurofighter built last year in 2018. I love that it's lap bar only. That is a huge, huge plus. An awesome beyond 90 degrees vertical drop. There it goes. And a pretty smooth ride. It's got this crazy loop-in version here. Not the longest ride, but a very smooth ride. And that is a good thing. It takes up almost no space in the park either. So I wish every Six Flags park would get one of these. Or at least the ones that don't have much room. But yeah, thumbs up to Tantrum for me. New for 2019 here at Six Flags Darien Lake, it's Sky Screamer. Your standard Star Flyer kind of ride, which is a good time. Also, I think it's at the longest line in the park, so people are definitely digging it. Not really the most scenic of views that you really just see the park and the campground. So here's the park's motor coaster. You ride on these awesome motorbike seats. It's amazing. The seats are amazing. The ride is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's amazing. But it's going to launch in just a little bit. There's actually lights that flash, and then you go off. And the layout is not too interesting, but you're on the motorbike seat, so it just feels so different. I really like this one. Probably my fourth favorite ride in the park. And bonus points for not having these roller coasters everywhere. Guys, kind of a 2-for-1 shot here, showing off Ride of Steel, formerly Superman Ride of Steel when it was owned by Six Flags, and then it wasn't owned by Six Flags, so they changed it to Ride of Steel. Now it's owned by Six Flags again. They haven't changed the name back, but the ride, oh man, it's fantastic. Also, you could tell, like, this is a clone of the one at Six Flags America, but this one, it's designed to fit this plot of land, so it makes way more sense. But the ride's great. It's super fast. You get some really, really great airtime on some of the hills, some really cool helixes. You go like right under a tree, which gives you a cool head chopper element. So I really, really liked Ride of Steel. And then this wood coaster here is called Predator. And looking at it, I'm like, oh, 91, or whatever it is, Din and Summers wood coaster, like this is gonna be garbage. And it was actually, I thought it was pretty good. We rode in the front row, and you got some airtime. It didn't hurt. And I will say one bad thing about both of these roller coasters, they only have one train. Not they're only running one train, they only have one train. There's one train for Predator, there's one train for Ride of Steel, so just be prepared to wait. Like, you might say like, oh man, the wait's in the station. You could still be there for a while. We were timing the dispatch times at Predator. I think they were doing dispatches every about 6 minutes. As you can tell, we've been filming this thing for quite a bit, and not a single Predator train is gone. But both of them I thought were pretty solid rides. Talk in the world of theme parks recently has all been about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, but I can tell you that last week in Western New York, I rode the true pinnacle of themed entertainment. I made it! The moose talks to you the whole time. He's your friend. Getting ready to drop off the list is Viper, the park's older looping roller coaster. Not a particularly good ride. Got a batwing element back there, which you can't see because it's hidden behind a tree. But trust me, it happens. They're coming out of it now. And it's rough. It's not like unrideable rough, but it's like, I don't think I'd ever have to go on it again rough. It does have a tunnel, so that is a plus. Then it comes through and does, you know, kind of your standard stuff with the double corkscrews. Not my favorite. The park does have a pretty cool antique car ride. Goes pretty long. It goes down to the boomerang and then comes back all the way around the lake. Only a 2-seater though. For a lot of adults, it's a 1-seater. So the park is home to a beautiful, gigantic Ferris wheel that apparently came from the 1982 World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee, at which point it was the world's largest Ferris wheel. Unfortunately, right now it looks like they load about, out of all those cabins, they only load about 10 of them. So we're not going to ride the Ferris wheel today because it's got a pretty long line. This adorable sign is for Heave Ho, one of these you sit in a chair and climb yourself up attractions. The park's flying scooters is themed to bumblebees, quite adorable. So it wouldn't be a Six Flags park without one of Larson's loopers. They've got one here, as it is a Six Flags park, as it struggles to go all the way upside down and gets green. Here goes Mind Eraser, the park's Vekoma SLC. These are not good rides, everyone. They're very rough. Between headbanging rough and like punch you in the back rough. It's a Molly's shoulders were in trouble. The whole thing, it's just not a good one. I will say one redeeming quality about this, it is in a kind of a pretty spot in the park, right on the lake. So I mean, it's not all bad. You got one very minor positive. Here is the Corn Popper. Pretty wild looking flat ride. Fun time. Park's Pirate Ride's in a pretty cool spot right on the lake. Not running today. Not sure if it runs anymore. It's got large amounts of chipping paint, but it's in a cool spot. A theme park classic in this barn is bumper cars. Something you don't see at most major theme parks. They've got a batting cage. It's not open, but it's here. So something a lot of Six Flags parks don't do that this one does, they do a big nighttime show where you can glow with the show if you buy merchandise. Because you've never heard of that idea before.
Glow with the show?
Completely original. But the show looks really cool. It's like lasers and fountains and that kind of thing. And it should be a good time. We're not going to, unfortunately, be able to stay and see it tonight because that's far too long, but sounds like a fun time. Park's got a classic wave swinger. Pretty standard model there. Not operating today is the park's S&S tower here. You can see a ladder right there. We'll say like the area around it, wonderful landscaping. So the park has an interesting paratrooper style ride. Like, this is not your average looking paratrooper. It feels older, but still probably get Drew the Intern sick. And that is located right next to the park's Enterprise named Silver Bullet, much like Coors Light. And then behind it is the park's main game section. There are tons and tons and tons of games, including Darien Lake themed prizes. Not Six Flags Darien Lake, just Darien Lake. So one of the best parts about Darien Lake, they have a Fascination Parlor. If you've never played this before, it is essentially kind of like you're playing bingo, except you roll the balls. It's 25 cents a game. We just played probably about $10 worth. Molly won 0 games.
I was close like 4 times.
Which gets you no prizes. I won 3 games. So I got a penguin back scratcher, and I got Molly a fancy smiley face bracelet that's inside out. And now nobody can see the happy smiley faces. They can't see them. There they are. But penguin stuff. All right. Now you can see it. Stylish. So one thing we're not going to experience on our trip is Splashtown, which is Darien Lake's water park, included with admission. And honestly, it looks like they've got a pretty modern slide collection. I love the Tornado. That Octo Racer looks sweet. They've got some drop pod slides over there. And then the Tantrum style slides over here. So pretty solid selection of water slides, plus some more that are not in the shot. But I mean, that's cool. Those are really fun racing slides. So on what I believe is Fun Lake, you can rent a whole bunch of different stuff. So you can rent like a kayak, a paddle boat, or these crazy looking aqua bikes built for one or two. Here you can see the park's Enterprise, not the Enterprise style ride, Music Express style ride, or Alpine Bob style ride. Definitely has seen some better days. Kind of a cute spot for the park's kids coaster, right here next to a little creaky river. God, I guess I don't even know what kind of animal that is. So this building here used to be home to an in-the-dark roller coaster called Nightmare at Phantom Cave. Now it looks like it has a haunt called Jungle Apocalypse. I actually was on this roller coaster. This roller coaster got relocated a ton of times. It was at Kentucky Kingdom, Beach Bend, and I rode it at the Great Escape. I've never been in that haunt, but it's a big building for a haunt. So if you weren't aware, Darien Lake is more than just a theme park. There's a giant concert venue here. There's also a hotel and then a very large campground. So this is like, there's a separate entrance over here for the campground, which explains all these log cavity type stuff. And you got a big arcade. And it's kind of pretty. Not something you say much about Six Flags parks. You also, for some reason, have the interest to the Moto Coaster over here. Hey Molly, what time is it?
Beer 30.
Giant beer 30, guys. Check this out. Massive souvenir mug, awesome souvenir mug of craft beer here at the Busted Barrel Saloon. Got some prices for you up here. Craft beer in the mug for your first time going to be 15 bucks. Refills are going to be 12. And then if you want a more normal beer, refills are going to be 9. And then like crazy stuff like this, you could get malt beverages refilled. Like this is a pretty cool beer. Bar is the word I'm looking for.
Nice beer too.
Yeah. So here's the park's selection of craft beers. Pretty solid. So normally we try to avoid eating at Six Flags because the food's expensive. Like this poutine costs about 10 bucks, even with the pass holder discount. But this is pretty tasty.
Yeah, it's different. You don't see that in Six Flags much.
I mean, we haven't been in Canada for like 5 hours now.
Yeah.
So if you have to eat somewhere while you're at Darien Lake, I think you would have to go for the Anchor Bar, a satellite establishment of the creators of the Buffalo Wing over in Buffalo, New York. We ate at the original on Tuesday of this week, and it was wonderful. I would assume that this would be considerably better than most Six Flags food. So one cool thing about Darien Lake, on the day we're here, they're doing a couple shows, and one of them is a magician, a Las Vegas headliner that I've never heard of. Unfortunately, we don't have time to see it. So I do love this shack of canoes that is a misting area. So one thing unique about Six Flags Darien Lake is that since they're attached to a campground, they have a full-service buffet restaurant. And it's beautiful in here. There's little beaver characters anywhere. This one moves. Oh man, it's so cool. Definitely something you don't see at most Six Flags, and it's pretty fantastic. Like the theming of the seats and everything, wonderful. So the beer game here at Darien Lake is really good. Like they have a bunch of bars in the park, and look at how adorable this guy's sign is. It's a little beaver wearing a hat at the Beaver Brothers Lakeside Cafe. Guys, the drinking game gets even better. They have signature drinks themed to their rides. So the drinking game continues here, and it's fantastic. Darien Lake has its own beer, the Maple Sunshine Ale, made by Eli Fish Brewing Company. The sign's falling over, but the beer itself, pretty good. The park's home to a boomerang coaster, and these are not a fun time. I thoroughly did not enjoy that at all. The best part about the boomerang, one, the cocktail. That's wonderful. Yeah. And also the sign, which informs you that boomerang is not for the lily-livered. So this is Molly's favorite piece of merchandise. It's like knockoff moose minions. Some of the merch here for Ride of Steel. I love how it's like knockoff Superman kind of stuff. And oh man, who would buy a shirt for the boomerang? I will say like prices are not bad at all. Like those shirts are not bad. I would buy one if I didn't already have a couple that look like that. 15 bucks. It's not bad. Plus you probably get like pass member discounts. Molly's found more stuff she likes, like Iron Moose. So in the same gift shop with these terrifying spider skulls, they also have an indoor mine for gold kind of thing. Really cool shot glass here. New York's Coaster Capital. I guess that's true. This is the Kenny section of the Darien Lake gift shop. Pretty solid piece of merchandise right here. Coasters and chill with a sloth on it. I enjoy sloths. Well, everyone, that'll do it for our time here at Six Flags Darien Lake. And it was kind of like a tale of 2 days for me. Like, we did all the roller coasters like right away when we got here. And I kind of gotten frustrated because it was so many one-train operations and painfully slow one-train operations. Like waiting, like essentially like 4 cycles on Predator and being stuck in the station for about 25 minutes. Or, you know, being in the station of Superman and being stuck there for 25 minutes because they only have 1 train. And stuff like that really got me down. But then later on in the day, things really picked up for me, you know. Once I found the park's incredible drinking game, that really helped. This guy that likes his beer, drinking, you know, 32-ounce beers, refilling with craft beer for, you know, 12 bucks or so. Not a terribly overpriced thing, but 32 ounces is a lot of beer. And of course, I got to ride the pinnacle of themed entertainment that is Moose on the Loose. I love Superman. I really, Predator was the surprise for me. Moto Coaster was fun. Tantrum was fun. The drinking game here is great. I think if I ever come back to this park, I think I'm going to pick out a day where there's a concert I want to see. Then I'm either going to camp or get a cabin and just go on a couple rides and then get destroyed and see a band I wanted to see. So that's how I would do it if I ever came back to Darien Lake. Molly, what are your thoughts on Darien Lake here?
I agree. The operation was horrible. The dispatch times.
Yeah, it's not a major theme park.
Yeah, no, that really hurt your day. But the beer was really good. Solid collection.
Like the best thing they could add for next year is a second train on all their major roller coasters.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like waiting, you're in the
it's
station.
It's excruciatingly slow. Yeah.
You're in the station every single time, and you're 30 minutes away from the ride.
And we're here on a Saturday, so which you think is the busiest day of the week?
Yeah, no, that definitely hurt it. But I agree, the beer is the best. I like.
That's because you didn't go on the Moose on the Loose ride.
Yeah. No, that was an adorable ride.
It talks to you the entire time in Zeusian rhyme. It says Moose,
and that's why
Moose
I didn't
on the
talk
Loose
during the description.
Oh my God, it was wonderful.
It was adorable.
Wonderful.
I liked Steel Man, Superman.
Steel Man?
Steel Man.
Steel Man.
Steel Man.
Ride of Steel.
Ride of Steel.
Yeah, I mean that's a great hypercoaster.
I really like that ride.
Yeah.
That was my favorite ride.
That's because you didn't see the Moose stuff.
That's why. I didn't.
All right, guys. Well, Darien Lake, it's got its ups and its downs. You know, the ups, some decent collection of roller coasters. The biggest up is the beer game and the Moose themed rides.
And the fact that you have campsites right next door.
Oh yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's very unique.
Like this would be a cool place to spend a weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100. And we were talking to people that were drinking, and that's what they were doing. They're like, yeah, I'm here with my kids and my wife's friends, and I'm at the bar while they're in line for something.
Yeah.
But it's kind of it does call itself sometimes. Before it was Six Flags, it was Darien Lake Theme Park Resort, and you definitely kind of feel that vibe.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. That's our thoughts on Darien Lake, and we'll talk to you all next time.